guys, my name is Rika Aktavila and this time I want to answer the question of my lecture again about the case study 20, and the title of case study 20 is acting without prior consent due to an unforeseen medical problem. And this is the case. When Mr. M, a 52-year-old male, was referred to Dr. C, he was in a very serious state. His symptoms included fever, headache, dry tongue, sinus infection, and general septic poisoning. Urinalysis indicate his urine was badly infected. He had stones in his bladder and a large stone in his kidney. Dr. C operated on Mr. M in May, draining his bladder and removing the bladder stones. The patient was subsequently treated with injection and his bladder condition improved. He continued to experience severe pain on his left side and had also developed a hernia. A second operation was performed to alleviate the patient overall physical condition. Several months after the second operation, Mr. M gave his consent to have surgery to repair his hernia. A day or two after the operation, Mr. M was informed by Dr. C that his testicle had also been removed during the surgery due to potential problems it might have caused. In response, Mr. M said he had not given his consent to the removal of his testicle and had never been informed that it might be necessary. Three eminent surgeons supported the correctness of Dr. C procedure. They state that no surgeon could have anticipated the condition and that further surgery had been necessary. And the question is, should Dr. C have postponed the operation until Mr. M was able to give his consent? And my answer is yes, because Mr. M did not give his consent to the removal of his testicle. Under this circumstance, a testicle can be surgically removed only if the procedure is considered an emergency or life-saving procedure. If it does not constitute an emergency, the physician must postpone the procedure until the patient gives his consent. In this case, however, it must be assumed that the condition of the patient's testicle was not considered to be so serious as to immediately endanger the patient's life or health, and that there was reasonable opportunity to obtain the patient's consent for surgical removal of the testicle. A person's body must be held inviolate and immune from invasion by a surgeon knife if an operation has not been consented to. Such surgery can only be performed with the patient's consent. If performed without such consent, it is technically an assault. Every human being of adult years and sound mind has the right to determine what shall be done with his own body. A surgeon who performs an operation without his patient's consent has committed an assault for which he is liable in damage. This is true except in case of emergency where the patient is unconscious and where it is necessary to operate before consent can be obtained. To verify the informed component of informed consent, it is essential to ensure that the patient understands his present condition, the proposed treatment, and all of the possible consequences, as opposed to other treatments or to not having treatment at all. If the patient is not aware of this information, his consent cannot be considered informed. If the patient is not in possession of the information in advance and did not give his consent to the matter, the new treatment must not be given and the patient consent must be obtained. However, another approach claims that if the person authorized to grant informed consent on behalf of the patient is a parent or partner, especially spouses, then there is no need to stop the procedure. This view is acceptable in societies where the family plays a great role in the individual life. It should be stressed that if there is a real and immediate danger to the patient's life, if the new treatment is not given, then such treatment is permitted. And this is my opinion. Thank you for watching.